So I have some time to knit right now. And while I really want to knit on my Guthrie cardigan, I have been promising my family that I would make Lucy, my daughter, some mittens. Because she does not have any mittens and it is cold. And so whenever we go on a walk and she's in her stroller, her hands are always just exposed. And she needs some mittens and I keep not making them because something I realized about something I've already known about myself is that I'm a very selfish knitter. I thought that would probably change when I had a baby. I thought I'd be really excited about baby knits, and I was for a while, but that's kind of gone. I don't even want to knit for Lucy anymore. I just want to keep knitting for myself. So I've been putting off making mittens for 4 months, and it's got to stop because it is getting colder and colder outside. So I'm casting them on today. It's happening. And they're gonna take like 5 minutes to knit. I just gotta do it. So I am making some DK weight mittens. I've got this DK weight scrap in my stash, and I'm not sure. I believe the dyer is called Yarn Indulgences, but I'm not positive. I've had this for a very long time. And it's just a nice teal DK weight merino yarn. So I'm gonna make some mittens out of this, some tiny mittens. I've got my size 4 Licka needles and my size 6s. So I'm gonna do the cuff with 4s and then I'm gonna do the rest of the mitten with 6s. I'm not gonna do thumbs. It's gonna be a really basic ribbing mitten decrease, and that's it. So I've got my Lickas ready to go. I'm just gonna get my cables out. And I'm gonna do magic loop. And these are all my Licka cables. I do like to use Knit Picks cables with my Licka needles, but I'm too lazy to find my Knit Picks cables right now, so I'm gonna use these. Let's see. What size do I want? I'm gonna use this size. 32 inch? I think that's 32 inch. I always keep one of these keys right here on my shelf because I'm constantly sitting here needing to use interchangeable needle sets. So I'm gonna put my 4s on, and I always use these keys with interchangeable needle sets because if I just twist them on by hand without tightening it with one of these, it is inevitably going to get unscrewed. So what I do, it's not rocket surgery, is I put the key in first, and then I twist the needle on, and then I just hold the key and give it one last tight twist. And that always keeps my needles on my interchangeable cords nice and snug. So I've got my magic loopiness ready to go. I'm gonna cast on something like 30 stitches or so. I'm just kind of making it up, so we'll see. I'm sure they'll fit. It's ribbing. I like to cast on almost always with the German twisted cast on, which is something that I learned from Becky Sorensen. And she wrote a pattern called the Taunus socks, and that's the cast on that she called for in that pattern. I, prior to this, just used a standard longtail cast on, but this is so similar to that, and it just gives a little extra stretch because there's a little extra yarn in each cast on stitch, and I really like it. Okay. Got my cast on done. I only did 28 stitches. Here's my tail. And let's get started on some ribbing. I am watching some Vlogmas videos today. And there are a lot of podcasters doing Vlogmas, and it is so much fun. There are so many videos to catch up on, and there are also some people doing Vlogmas who don't have podcasts otherwise, one of which is Riza Knits, and I'm just watching her first episode, her first Vlogmas episode right now, and I am really, really enjoying it. So I am going to get working on these mittens, keep watching Riza Knits, and see how far I can get on these teeny little baby mittens. Also, I have a giant cup of coffee, and it's filled to the brim because I'm crazy, and it's got llamas on it. We've got a cup. I'm about to switch from my 4s to my 6s. And I wanted to let you guys know, I put up a post about this on Instagram in my stories, but I wanted to let you know here too that I plan to do 2 AMA episodes for Vlogmas. So I would like you guys to ask some questions. You guys, I just knit the cuffs on the 6s instead of the 4s. I thought it seemed kind of loose. I thought they seemed kind of loose. Am I gonna leave it, or am I gonna go back? I should just reknit it. It took like 5 minutes. Bunk. Okay, well, I'm getting the 4s on there now so that I can rip this shit out and start over. Anyway, I need some questions from you guys so that we can do an AMA episode. I'm gonna do one, just me, just a regular AMA, and then I'm gonna do one that is a couples Q&A with me and Colin. So if you have any questions you'd like me or us to answer in those episodes, leave those questions in the comments below. This video or any of the other videos, I'll see them. And here we go. Now I am watching the next Vlogmas video, which is Nordic stitches. So I will get back to that while I recast on. Here we go. I finally, 10 minutes later, finished that cuff. And I decided this time, instead of doing 2x2 ribbing, to do 1x1 ribbing. So it's at the gauge I originally wanted. It's 1x1 ribbing now, and I like it a lot better, so I'm glad I redid it. I have been watching these Vlogmas videos and getting really, really jealous of everybody who has advent calendars, especially yarny advent calendars, and I didn't get one. I don't have any advent calendars, which is kind of stupid. Like, I should get an advent calendar, right? It sounds like so much fun. I never did. The only advent calendars that I remember doing when I was a kid were those like ones that you get from the supermarket that are filled with those chocolates that taste like only holiday chocolates taste. I don't know what it is, but I loved these when I was a little kid. Those like cheap advent calendar chocolate sets. Also those Hanukkah coins that you can get that are wrapped in gold foil. That's what that top chocolate tastes like. I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure it's something artificial. But I remember those are the only advent calendars that I ever got, were the ones that had chocolate that tasted like that in them, and I loved them. And then I kind of forgot all about advent calendars my whole life until I started watching knitters and their yarn advent calendars. So because I don't have any advent calendars and I'm super jealous, I've decided to put together something for myself that is not an advent calendar, but I think maybe it'll satisfy my desire for that. So I've put together a whole bunch of minis. I think I have 12. Maybe I have more, but I don't have like 25. I put together some minis, and every day I'm gonna pick one and put it in my granny stripe crochet blanket. I don't know if I'll actually keep up with it, because me and commitment to things like that don't typically last. I have a short attention span, but I put together some, you can't see them in there, some minis for myself, and they're in a bag that Tabby Cat Crafter sent to me as a gift. And it's so cool. It's quilted, or at least it's piecework. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's got a tea mug on it, and it's got a little T on it for my name. So I am keeping the minis that I've picked out in this bag. And I'm not doing like a secret thing or anything. They're just in there, and I'm gonna pick one every day whenever I want. And I bought a Tilting Planet mini skein set a little while ago. And this is everything from that. And they actually came as these mini cakes, which I like a lot better than mini skeins, because it means I don't have to wind them. So I took all but one of these. It came with 9 of them. I only have 8 here because one was like a really rich blue, and I didn't want that in my blanket. So I've got all of these. And then I also threw in a little ball that I wound off of one of my sock snakes, 2 hand spun yarns, and 1 leftover little cake of Moonstone Dye Works in the Stone Cold Manners colorway. So I've got these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it's 12. Okay, so I can do the 12 days of Christmas, right? Does that just start 12 days before Christmas? That's what I'll do. I think 12 days before Christmas, I'll crochet one of these into my blanket every day until Christmas Day, right? Now I get to join in on the fun. I'm excited about that. So next year I'll get an advent calendar. And it doesn't have to be yarn. It can be anything. People get teas. That sounds fun. Only I don't really like flavored teas. I like herbal tea with just straight up herbs. And I like tea, like black tea or green tea. But I don't like the whole David's tea thing where it's got like other stuff in it, and it's like, it tastes like things other than herbs or tea, pretty much. I'm not that into those, so I don't know. I think probably a lot of tea advent calendars are like that, unless I can find an herbal one. Or just a tea one that just has, anyway, what am I talking about? So me and my little faux advent calendar, me and my 12 Days of Christmas mini skein crochet blanket project are going to get set up for that. Here's my granny stripe crochet blanket. I have been working on it quite a bit. I've added, I don't know, maybe 6 inches since the last time I showed it on the podcast. And I just haven't shown it since then because I keep forgetting about it. But it's gonna be back in, what is it, December 4th? 25 minus 12 is... So in like 10 days, I'll start this. That seems like a long time to wait. Who knows? I'm trying to get too specific with this. I might just put a mini in my blanket every day until Christmas. Or most days, or whenever I feel like it in December. How about that?